everybody, this is Alessandra. Welcome to my home, welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be making with you and for you delicious spaghetti alla puttanesca. A little tough for me to say that because puttanesca is not a very nice word. Anyway, I'll leave it in the description later. Very simple ingredients, delicious. It's actually late for lunch, so my husband's like, what are we doing? I'm like, I have a great idea. Get the camera out, I'll get my apron on, and we'll make this delicious quick meal. 15 minutes we'll be eating. We could almost do it live. So the ingredients are simple, delicious. This is a staple in Neapolitan cuisine and actually all over Italy at this point, all over the world, because the flavors just combine together so well and make it this delicious meal. Enough said, let's get started. I have extra virgin olive oil. We're 3 people eating, so these are the measurements for 3, 4, but just double it up if you're more. It makes great for entertaining. When my guests come, as they're sitting around the island, I whip this up and everybody's always amazed. It's just that delicious. Okay, going back to the ingredients. Extra virgin olive oil. 2 cloves of garlic. You need the heat, so I'm using this very powerful chili pepper. Gaeta olives, you could use already pitted kalamata. I have about 3 ounces, about a half a cup that I will take the pit out as I'm cooking. I have the fillet of anchovies and capers from Pantelleria. Make sure your anchovies and your capers are in salt or oil for the anchovies and not in vinegar. If they are in vinegar, you will mess up your meal. It needs to be in salt. I have about, I'm gonna say 15 ounces of peeled plum tomatoes right here, and I have 12 ounces of spaghetti. My spaghetti is the bronze cut, which means that when it's made, it goes through a machine that does not, it has rough edges. And I've just been using this for the last year or so, and I love it because whatever sauce you make really grabs onto the pasta and it makes it delicious. Let's move right over to the stove. I already put a pot of water with salt, and that's beginning to boil, and let's get started. Medium heat in a saute pot. We're 3 people, so I'm gonna do about 3 tablespoons of the extra virgin olive oil. If you have a regular olive oil, that's fine too, but I like to go with the extra virgin. Now, you don't want it to burn quickly, so I'm gonna slice the garlic. Don't have the flame on too high, okay? Because it cooks rather fast, so let it do its thing gently. Crush the chili pepper. It's nice and dry, so just by doing this, it's perfect. There it goes. Now the next thing, I'm going to rinse my capers. The filet anchovies are going into. See, they're in oil. I have about, I'm going to say 3, but this is a little one. Let's say 3, 4 is what I have in there. Okay, I'm going to add the capers. I'm just going to give them a quick rough cut, let's say, just so that they release even more flavor. Don't have the heat on high. You don't want to burn. You'll just raise the heat before adding the tomatoes. Here it goes. There's a little salt behind from the capers, not a problem at all. Don't forget, we'll salt this later because the anchovies are salty, the capers are salty. You don't want to, nasce le sale se per da minestra. You're going to ruin everything if it's overpowering with salt. Also, the olives are salty. So let's give it a good stir. Time to add the olives. Okay. Now you can raise your flame a little bit, because what you want to do now, when you add the tomatoes in, you want the contact with the oil to be strong, so all the flavors viene bello soffritto. So that's where the flavor comes in, and it really releases all the juice of the tomato into the oil. Time to add the plum tomatoes. This is what I like to do. You see that? Wow. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Can you smell it? It just smells divine. Crush up the rest of the tomatoes if it's chunky, just like this. And even if you crush the caper and the anchovy, it's just flavor that gets released. Okay, leave it on medium high and let it cook. Okay, a little tip on portions. So let's move closer to the stove. I want to show you what I have in the pan, okay? So it's not a lot of sauce. So I said we're 3 people. So I mentally do this. So this is for one person, this is for another, and this is for another. So it's perfect. Maybe you could get the 4th person, but not really. And for every pound of pasta, I figure 4 people, 4 to 5 people. Since we're 3, I'm gonna just be using 12 ounces, and that's the perfect ratio. So that's also very important. You don't want to make too much sauce where the pasta is drowning in it, or too little where it's white e non ha sapore perché non è condito. So that's just a little tip for the younger ones that are cooking. My pasta is boiling. I'm gonna lower the puttanesca because I don't want to dry it out completely. So I'm gonna put it on the lowest setting. I'm gonna drop the pasta in. I added very little salt. I mean, I just added the right amount, but not too salty. Help yourself with a pair of tongs to just have it all submerged in the water. Make sure your flame is on high so it picks up heat again and it starts boiling. Otherwise, it's just gonna, if you have it on low heat, what happens is it's just soaking there and it's not, it needs to be in a rolling boil. It needs just a drop of salt. I'm gonna add maybe a 1/4 teaspoon. I'm to add some fresh parsley, and I like to do it just with a scissor or a knife. Bunch it up and just like this, cut away. The pasta is still, look at that, you could tell it's under al dente, and that's how I want it. You see, it's not even folding totally. Now get this side of the flame up high, and just let's get the pasta all in. And if need be, we'll add a little bit of the pasta water because it has the starch and it gives it extra creaminess. Just by looking at the pasta, you know if it's overcooked, and this is absolutely al dente. I'm gonna just add un piccolo mestolo dell'acqua sua. Ecco qua. Let's get it. You hear that? Picks up all the delicious flavor that is on the side of the pot. And now we're ready to eat. Ecco fatto. We are ready to eat. Here's the bellissimi spaghetti alla puttanesca. It's staffumeggiando. That means it's nice and hot and I don't want it to get cold. So I'm going to be quick. Subscribe, hit the bell button. I have pizza di scarole, eggplant rollettini coming up, cannoli siciliani with a delicious cream inside. Please, a lot of recipes coming up. I am so happy to be sharing with you. Be safe, stay healthy. Wait, I gotta taste it. I'm sorry, I need to taste it even a little bit. It has to be tasted. Absolutely delicious. Thank you. Alla prossima. Ciao, ciao.